Knocked out of the championship side of the bracket, the Highland Park Scots still have plenty to play for on the final day of the Plano Wildcat Holiday Classic. Good morning, sleepyheads. Glad you've joined us for some early morning Highland Park Scots tournament basketball. I'm Brian Sutcliffe with my good friend, Mr. Miles Dunklin. The Scots and Bishop Lynch Friars will square off for a berth in this afternoon's fifth-place game against the Prosper Eagles. This could have been a semifinal matchup as the Scots and Friars were both knocked off by a single point apiece in yesterday's quarterfinal round. The Scots were knocked out of the right-hand side of the bracket by the Richardson Eagles, who exacted a bit of revenge on the Scots for a three-point HP win in Richardson earlier this season. HP coming up on the short end of a 39-38 result, while the Bishop Lynch Friars dropped a heartbreaker to the host team, the Plano Wildcats, 50-49 yesterday. And Miles, as we look ahead to next week, coming out of this tournament, HP's got a big district game against West Mesquite on Thursday, a game made even more important after the Scotties dropped their district opener last week. The Scotties need to find a way to develop some offensive continuity as they leave this tournament.
Absolutely, and that's why there's still a whole lot to play for today, hopefully later this afternoon at 3 o'clock against Prosper, if they're able to get a win right now. And it's all about improving the squad at this point in the year. Not looking for anything. I mean, obviously, you want to be able to win games, but the record is not what's important. The record, what's important is how well you're playing. And when you go up against West Mesquite next week, a team that a lot of people pick to win the district, and a lot of people think they're the best team in the area. So that's certainly not a must-win, but you don't want to fall to 0-2 in district play.
The Highland Park Scots come into this one with a record of 13-5. They're in District 10-4A. They are 0-1 in district play. They knocked off Irving 68-44 in opening round play on Thursday, and then were taken down by Richardson yesterday, 39-38. Their starters at guard, running the point is number 3, Matt Fraschilla, a 5'10 senior. The off guard is Matthew Kreit, 6'3", a junior. He'll wear number 24 as the Scots have their home throwbacks on today. The wings are number 2, Chase Fletcher, a 6'7 senior, and number 20, Will Miller, a senior, 6'5". The post is number 52, Clayton Murtha, a junior, 6'5". He'll actually wear 50 in those Scotty throwbacks. The Bishop Lynch Friars are 12-8 this season. They're coached by Barry Knott. They'll go with a somewhat smaller 4-guard starting lineup, led by number 3, Colton Paradowski. He's a senior, 5'11". Also at guard, number 5, Chris Adams, a 5'8 senior. The other 2 guards are number 11, Andrew Grotto, a 5'11 senior, and number 12, Ryan Dooley, a junior, 6'2". Their offensive go-to player is their single big man in this starting look, number 21, Lupe Alba. He's listed as a forward at 6'5". He's got a couple of 25-plus point games this year and had a team-high 19 in the 50-49 loss yesterday to Plano, as the first shot's taken by Andrew Grotto. He missed it, but the rebound came out to Chris Adams, and Bishop Lynch will have another look. We're about 30 seconds in.
Yeah, it was a problem all day yesterday for Highland Park. The offensive rebounding, talking to the coaching staff, really that was the one thing they could single out of what was the biggest problem yesterday was the offensive rebounding. That's not a good trend to see that happen first possession out.
Grotto will battle with Miller and kick it out to Paradowski. Very patient offense here for Bishop Lynch as Lupe Alba kicks it back out. Right side 3 is missed. Andrew Grotto, a third opportunity as Paradowski got it, gave it to Grotto. He missed the shot, but there will not be a fourth chance as Matt Fraschilla was looking for Will Miller. The officials are talking things over and decide that it was in fact deflected.
Yeah, 2 more offensive rebounds will start the game for Bishop Lynch. That was the main area of concern coming in. The other area of concern, putting the ball in the basket offensively, that's been the main problem for Highland Park. Yesterday, 39 points enough to win the game. Or 38 points, 39 points defensively enough to win. You just didn't put enough points on the board.
Well, Miles, the Scots have now dropped 2 of their last 3, and in each of those games, they've set a new season low in points scored. The 40 against Poteet last Friday, and then the 38 versus Richardson yesterday. Nice pass for Fraschilla to Chase Fletcher. Lets Paradowski fly by, scores the bucket, gets the bang. He'll go to the line. Chase Fletcher gives the Scots the early 2-0 lead with 6:46 left in the first.
Yeah, beautiful patience there by Chase. Knew that he was going to be able to get the bucket. He had such deep position, but earned his way to the free throw line as well, got the and one.
Coming into the tournament shooting about 56% at the line. That number's been getting better, and he misses this one, though. The Scots were 9 for 14, not a terrible percentage at the line yesterday, but they were 4 for 4 in the first half, 5 for 10 in the second. And in a game that was nip and tuck all the way down, the Scotties really could not afford those 5 misses.
And they had a couple 0 for trips down the stretch that really hurt them.
Alpa Off the bounce, goes to the left hand, missed it. Chase Fletcher with some good defense. Last touch by Lynch. It looked like Chase might have been the last to touch that ball. Scott's maybe with a break there.
Yeah, Alpa certainly thought so, but Highland Park will take it.
The winner of this one will get a date with the Prosper Eagles this afternoon at 3 o'clock for the 5th place finish. There's that elbow post entry from Chase in the high post, this time to Will Miller, who had the easy bucket. There's another offensive board. That's about 5 offensive rebounds in the first quarter.
And a tough traveling call against Will Miller right there. But yeah, you said it, Brian. Another offensive rebound early on.
The Scotties allowed 8 against Richardson in the first half yesterday.
And I don't think it should really be an issue. Typically, third game in 3 days, having to start at 10 a.m., not when you expected to play, not when you wanted to play. They might come out lethargic, but after the effort yesterday, certainly this group a lot more focused. They want to come back with a solid performance.
Forshilla and Kreitz nearly team up for a steal. Instead, they'll find Ryan Dooley on the baseline. He hits a long 2. And the Friars are on the board. The Friars are from the large school division of the TAPS private school organization. HP's already played a TAPS school twice this year. That was TCA Addison. HP getting a couple of wins in the season opener and then in the championship of the Scott Classic. HP with a 2-point lead, scoring 54.7 points per game, allowing only 45.8. Forshilla to Fletcher for the bucket.
Yeah, miscommunication by BL that time. Don't want to leave the Scott's best player wide open on the block like that. But yeah, if you're a Highland Park fan, you've been familiar as a straight-on 3 by BL is good. But you're familiar with Bishop Lynch. Scott's play BL every single year in football at home.
Barrett Renner should be coming off the bench. He's a southpaw quarterback for the Bishop Lynch football team, also plays basketball.
And this is where the Scots really struggled yesterday, was in the half-court offense. Kreitz tried a really fancy reverse that time.
Action there. Nearly fell and right on cue. We'll see some fresh Friars. Number 2, Barrett Renner. He's a 6'2 guard. He's joined by number 23, Drew Bodensteiner. He's a 6'4 sophomore. Also out there, number 10, Jason Siegel, a 5'8 sophomore. So some pups out there right now for Lynch, along with number 4, Matthew Jordan. He's a junior, 5'11", but he's a gray hair in this alignment. And straight into the game, Bodensteiner had 9 points in the loss to Plano yesterday, and he's given Bishop Lynch their first lead, 7-6.
It's good action right there. Get Will Miller wide open in the corner for 3. Good job by Kreitz.
Will Miller had 9 yesterday against Richardson, which snapped a 4-game streak of double-figure scoring numbers. But he's off to a good start here as Bodensteiner fresh off the bench, and he's hit his first 2 field goals. And Coach David Peeler wants a 30-second timeout. With 3:52 left in the first quarter, it's Bishop Lynch 10, Highland Park 9.
And the offense for BL getting going here early, but if you're Highland Park, you're more worried about your offensive performance than the defense. I feel like the defense is always going to be there with this team. So solid defensively, only allowing about 45 points a game to their opponent.
And Miles, the Scots, in a continuing search to find some outside shooting, have brought up another JV call-up, Evan Buechler. He's a 6'4 junior. I saw him stroking it through a good portion of the pregame, and he can hit it from the outside. We'll see what he can do when the bullets are flying here.
Well, we saw him during JV all last year, play before the varsity games, and he's certainly a guy that can shoot it. I was looking for him on the varsity roster this year when they first came out, but he's definitely a guy that can help from the outside. And this coaching staff not opposed to using these sophomores. They saw some good things in Campbell Brooks and Kaufman, and that's why they were on the floor in the critical minutes yesterday of that basketball game. Campbell Brooks attempted what could have been a game-winning shot at one point, so he was out there in a really critical spot. So
Mitchell
see
Kaufman
if Buechler can get some run today.
Was a very important contributor yesterday as the Scots creep their way back. Miller will try to do it from the right side, can't get it. Chase Fletcher couldn't quite get the rebound, but Clayton Murtha does.
I love the aggressiveness from Will. Yeah, he didn't make the shot, but still like to see him getting after it on the offensive end. Great
look from Clayton Murtha, one of the best passing big men you'll see anywhere. Finds Chase Fletcher, and Chase has an early 6. Scots back up by 1, 11-10. 3:20 left first quarter. Bodensteiner will tee it up again and hit it again.
Yeah, he came off the bench ready to shoot. He woke up this morning hot.
He's had 2 20-plus point games this year, had 25 against North Garland and then 20 against Trinity Christian Cedar Hill. Not bad when you can have a guy off your bench hit his first 3 field goals.
A couple threes right out of the gate for Bodensteiner.
2-point lead for Bishop Lynch, 13-11. Kreitz off the bounce will take it in, float the right-hander, no good. Offensive rebound, put back, and one. Clayton Murtha, the big junior with his first 2 points. He'll try to give the Scots the lead after tying it at 13. It's the second team foul against Bishop Lynch.
That's a good job by Murtha getting on the glass, but most importantly, that was a good job by Kreitz breaking down the defense off the dribble. And you saw the help defense come over. That's why there was nobody to box out Clayton Murtha, and he was able to get an easy putback. But a good job by Kreitz initiating the offense off the dribble. Not a lot of guys on this team can get into the lane like that and create problems, and you saw exactly what it did to the defense. Broke him down when he penetrated like that.
Clayton Murtha been a very good free throw shooter this year for a big guy. He's nearly 70%.
Pretty much all the points for Highland Park coming in the paint.
There's Barrett Renner. The lefty goes to the right hand, draws the contact. He'll shoot 2 free throws after the Scots pick up their first foul. It'll go against the ledger of Chase Fletcher.
And they tried to get the press. The BL was able to break it pretty easily and just put Chase in a bad spot there, 2-on-1.
The senior captain, Matt Wilson, number 32, the 6'4" senior, into the game now as Renner misses the first. 2:41 left, opening frame. Scots lead at 14-13.
Garrison also in there.
Number 5, the senior. We're tied at 14. Pump it down to Chase again. Double team pressure coming. Rolls off the rim, comes over to Trey Garrison for the offensive rebound. We've got a jump ball. It'll stay with the Scotties.
A good look for Chase. It was good defense by Bishop Lynch. Normally when he gets it down that low, you're either going to get a foul, a bucket, or create an offensive rebound for somebody else, and that time it was the last.
Quickly into Fletcher. He'll turn. Can't put it in off the look from Frischilla. Rebound, Drew Bodensteiner. Bit of a testament to how the Scots have been struggling on offense. In their last 6 games, they're allowing only 37.5 points per game, but they're only 4-2 in those 6 games. If you have a 6-game stretch where you're allowing less than 38 points per game, you expect you're probably going to be 5-1, if not a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, simply the struggle has been scoring the basketball, and it's Fletcher and Miller leading the way in that department. Fletcher at 14.5 per game. Miller about 11 per game. Other than that, you just don't know exactly who it's going to come from on a nightly basis.
Max Hiltebeitel did a good job anticipating that bounce pass from the elbow that worked early on in the first quarter. He's in along with number 33, Luke Packard. And Chase just picked up his second foul.
I think that one's going to be on Matt Wilson, a block. Good thing that's not Chase's second personal. Got to see Kaufman ready to check back in. And they really like the future of Mitchell Kaufman. Looks like he could play some football with the kind of shoulders that he's got.
I think they did give that to Chase because they've just taken him out. No, it was Wilson. I trust you, baby. Bodensteiner with 9.
Yeah, he's been super aggressive off the bench. And this particular offensive group looked for Will Miller to try and get his own shot. They want him to be a little more aggressive. Either Miller or Garrison, those are the 2 guys that can score.
Touch it into Garrison. Quick release 3 off the back iron, no good. Kaufman keeps it alive for Frischilla. Gets it right back from the Scots point guard. Tried to dish to Garrison. Garrison throws it up wildly, no good. Kaufman fights for the rebound. Last touch by the Scots.
Gotta love the effort and the activity of Kaufman down low. His presence in the game really is a nuisance on the opponent because he's able to get in passing lanes, dive on the floor. Really a scrapper.
There's Luke Packard harassed by Frischilla and Miller. They'll find Hiltebeitel. And Bishop Lynch will set up the offense. Bodensteiner left side this time.
He's
a little
feeling
too
it.
hefty. Another offensive rebound. This time it was Max Hiltebeidel.
Yeah, got to get that weak side rebound that time.
Bodensteiner spins baseline, rises, traveled. 57 seconds left. The Scots had the better of play the first minute or two. It's been pretty evenly matched since then as the teams have exchanged leads over the past 4 or 5 minutes. Right now it's Bishop Lynch with a 15-14 lead with 50 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, even though this is a private school Scots are going up against here, they do have some firepower on this team. We've seen already a couple guys show the ability to get their own shot. A great pass by Kaufman inside to Matt Wilson. The sophomore forward showing his versatility with a nice feed.
Hiltebeidel had his pass deflected. Barrett Renner will save it.
That's Kaufman again with those active hands.
Renner thought about the three. Find Bodensteiner. He'll take it. He'll hit it again.
And he wants to shoot. So far, that's all he's done is put shots up.
Drew Bodensteiner on pace for a career game. He's got 12 points in the first quarter. Trying to pump it down low to Wilson. The Scots turn it over, trailing by 2, 18-16. The Scots haven't allowed more than 22 points in the first quarter all year. They've yielded 18. Here's Bodensteiner. That's probably going to go the day he's having. He nearly got it. So we head to the second quarter of play with the Bishop Lynch Friars leading the Highland Park Scots 18-16. At Texas Capital Bank, we're driven by an unwavering mission to serve Texas businesses and the entrepreneurs and families who run them. Since our beginning in 1998, we've grown into one of the state's largest independent banks with offices in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Houston, and San Antonio. Texas Capital Bank is proud to support the Highland Park Scots and wishes the team great success this season. You know, February 1st is just around the corner. We want to let you know that HP Basketball's annual Hoops and Hot Sauce dinner and auction is coming up. It'll be Friday, February 1st. For more information on tickets, underwriting, and auction donations, email hoopsandhotsauce@gmail.com. I'm Brian Sutcliffe with Miles Dunklin here at the campus of Plano Senior High School, where the Scots looking to earn a second game today. They trail Bishop Lynch 18-16 after one. Winner of this one gets the Prosper Eagles for the 5th place crown, if you want to call it that, I guess, the 5th place title later this afternoon.
And the Scots came out and put up 16 points on the board, which is pretty good. Unfortunately, the defense hasn't quite been there, allowing 18. And I think maybe with the defensive energy and the lack of energy on the glass, I think maybe this 10 a.m. start does have a little bit of an effect. Certainly, especially with it being Christmas time as well, these guys, I'm sure, wanted to sleep in this morning. Tough to get out of bed when it's so cold outside, but they're here at early in the morning, just 10 a.m.
Number 4, Mitchell Kaufman. Number 5, Trey Garrison. Number 32, Matt Wilson. Number 13, Ben Livingston, the senior, into the game for the first time, along with first-timer Jake Steganga wearing number 25, the number he wore last year.
They're going to come out in the 1-3-1 zone here. Kaufman at the top.
This defensive alignment hurt Richardson yesterday. It was the zone that did damage against Bishop Lynch against Plano yesterday as Paradowski tees up the 3 and hits it.
Well, that's how you beat the 1-3-1. You pass the ball effectively and you get the ball into the corner. That's the weak spot of that zone. A good job by Bishop Lynch executing right there.
Scots trail by 5, 21-16. Livingston moves left, finds Matt Wilson. Mitchell Kaufman was looking to get a post up down low. Here's Livingston in the corner. 45 seconds into the second quarter, 21-16, Bishop Lynch with the edge. Steganga battling with Chris Adams. He'll move to the baseline. Very patient possession here for the Scotties. Get it back to Garrison.
And being very deliberate offensively, now you just want to get a shot up.
Very contested shot there. Ryan Dooley doing the work on defense. Here come the Friars.
Yeah, but this particular group, when you look out there, who's going to get their own shot? It's Garrison in that half-court offense. Probably wasn't the best look that he's ever gotten, but
Lynch turns the ball over.
Stiganga being charged with the majority of the ball handling in this particular lineup. All reserves out there right now.
Freeing up Livingston. He can hit that shot. This one caroms out. Wilson tries to keep it alive, but he knocks it out of bounds.
It's too bad right there because Highland Park really needs somebody other than Will Miller to hit a couple shots on the outside, able to get a good look in the half court. It's just an organic play through their offense right there. Livingston, unfortunately, not able to knock it down, but a good look nonetheless.
This has been a tournament marked by very close games. There have been 17 games played in this tournament as Alba gets the easiest bucket of the game.
Once again, that's the 1-3-1 defense. It creates a lot of pressure. It also opens a lot of opportunities for the offense if they're able to pass the ball and handle it well.
There have been 17 games played in this tournament. Only 5 have been decided by more than 10 points. The Scots had one of those in their 24-point win over Irving, who beat Lake Highlands yesterday to.
Jake lost his dribble. He needs help. Not able to get it.
Chase Fletcher back into the game.
And they need some offensive punch in with this particular group.
HP down 23-16.
And they're in danger of letting this lead get to double digits on this trip or the next.
Alba fouled by Kaufman. Third team foul against the Scots.
And that's okay considering still just 5 minutes left here in the second and only 3 team fouls against HP.
Catch and release
Way
three.
short.
Very short by Andrew Grotto, but another offensive rebound.
That's a killer. That's not one you can really do much about, as Alba does indeed stretch the lead to 10. We've seen the talented 6'5" senior scored down low, that time scoring from the perimeter.
6 3-pointers hit in the first half already by Bishop Lynch. Little baseline.
Ooh, nearly got that one to fall, Kaufman. A nice little baseline spin move right there. I'm impressed to see Mitchell. There's things as a basketball player, Brian, that you do that you're able to do in practice, not necessarily able to translate to a game. I'm impressed that Mitchell's able to really actually implement that kind of post move into a basketball game here this early on in his career.
Can't hit the first. Bishop Lynch with a 10-point lead. They've only hit 3 2-point field goals in the game.
Now they have been firing away from the outside, and they've had some success. Currently have a 9-point lead. Scots put the press on. Thought they had a turnover that time, unfortunately. Rolled out off Mitchell Kaufman. He's had a nice couple minutes here since he's been inserted.
Here comes Adams. They got a 3-on-2. Give it to Dooley. Dooley missed it.
Yeah, Chase changed the shot right there.
Jump ball goes to the Scots.
It's been Miller and Murtha and Frischella getting a pretty long extended rest on the bench.
And right on cue, you've got Frischella getting set to check in along with Kreitz and Murtha. Looks like Campbell Brooks is about to come in. HP will turn it over. Here comes Grotto. Grotto finds Ryan Dooley.
And that will lead Coach Peeler to call a timeout. He needs Matt Frischella back in the game. They need his ball handling.
Full timeout with 4:20 left. It's all Bishop Lynch leading the Scots 28-17. And Miles, we talked a little bit in the open. You know, you got a big one against West Mesquite coming up, and I cannot imagine that the Scots would want to head into that one with 2 disappointing efforts, so they need to pick it up here.
Well,
you know,
Brian,
certainly you said you don't want to call that West Mesquite game a must-win, but you're already 0-1 in district. West Mesquite considered one of the favorites, if not the favorite, to claim the district and then probably make a deep playoff run after that.
Absolutely.
You don't really want to fall 0-2 in district play and really ostensibly be 3 games back, as West Mesquite would at least temporarily have the tiebreaker.
Right, I think you'd still obviously not worried about a playoff spot, but Highland Park has goals of winning the district every single year, regardless of who else is in it, who else is good. If Highland Park's down or whatever, the goal is to absolutely win District 10 4A. So that would not be a good place to start, considering last year they did not lose a single district game. You would not want to fall to 0-2. Certainly don't worry about the attitude and the demeanor of these Highland Park players. Always going to be giving their best effort, but would not want to fall to 0-2 in district. Brian, this has not been the best opening half for Highland Park, considering they're coming off a loss. Their previous 4 times they had a loss this season, they bounced back well, won by double digits. But so far today, really a lackluster effort.
It's really been feast or famine for the Scots this year. When they've been winning big. Their last 7 wins have been by at least 11.
What a feed by Matt Frischella.
That'll get things going. Murtha
That's one
has
for the
his
highlight
4th
tape.
points.
Matt, of course, going to be playing at Harvard next year. Super excited about being able to go not only get to play in the Ivy League, but obviously get a great education as well.
Renner out to Bodensteiner, who had the first quarter of his life with 12 points, including 3 triples. Siegel bottled up.
Scots have yet to be able to really force some turnovers. They tried the 1-3-1. Now they're back in a man-to-man look. They got hurt so bad from the outside, they got out of the 1-3-1. They need to generate some stops and some turnovers. Get some easy buckets offensively and get the offense going.
Matthew Jordan harassed by Frischella.
And he does such
Fletcher
a good job on the ball.
There's an offensive foul. There you go. You had a nice bucket. Good defensive possession on the other end. You trail by 9. See if the Scots can close the first half strong.
Yeah, Matt, I think, took an elbow to the face that time.
Officials having a word with him. He's a tough guy.
I think he took one right to the chops. Matt always willing to kind of get the extra little, not calling it an acting job, but always willing to kind of get the extra little bit of action to try and make sure he gets the call from the official. Very smart player.
Frischella over to Brooks. 4 starters and Campbell Brooks out there right now. Frischella was sent to the floor, able to keep the handle though.
Yeah, I think this says a lot. That one has to be back to Highland Park. They did overrule the other official. But I think it's impressive that they're getting some Campbell Brooks not only run in this game, but seeing what he does with the rest of the ones. They like his athleticism. They like the way he can take care of the ball, shoot it.
On the baseline, it's Chase Fletcher. He'll take that little baseline jumper. It was halfway down. Great positioning by Clayton Murtha, warding off the defensive player and getting the rebound and earning the trip to the line.
Yeah, one of the reasons why that happened, Brian, is because Chase's ability to stretch the floor, the 5, the center that's guarding Chase, is not underneath the basket to be able to get a rebound. He's out by the 3-point line where Chase was. So just the sheer presence of being able to get your big man and put him out on the perimeter just helps the offense overall get flow and that time create space for Murtha to get the offensive rebound.
Well, and that forces Coach Barry Knott to take out one of his smaller players, in this case Bodensteiner, who's been killing the Scots in this game, because you have to bring in another big in Luke Packard.
And a mistake by Bishop Lynch. It was number 32, Jamie Skorinsky, stepped on the baseline.
Fletcher will get it. He goes to the line.
Once again, a good feed by Murtha.
Seeing a little more energy now from the Scots bench as HP's turning the momentum a little bit.
Maybe they're feeling that kind of sense of urgency. They do not want to lose 2 games in a row.
Chase gets the first. He's got 7.
One of the reasons Highland Park is so consistently good might not always be the talent and the skill level they come in with, but it's the demeanor and the focus and the attitude that they possess, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And hopefully you wouldn't think that they'd be lackadaisical coming into this game.
Shot was blocked by Matthew Kreitz. Here come the Scots trailing by 6. They've trailed by as many as 11.
Trying to get Murtha down low that time. No reset. Very deliberate offense by Highland Park. High-low.
High-low.
That's why you're patient offensively and you don't take bad shots, because when you take care of the ball and you run your offense, you're going to get good looks like that.
Clayton Murtha has 5 points in the second quarter. Skarzensky over to Jordan, try the right side for Siegel. 1:39 left, first half. Scots trail by 4.
And nice little run here. They were down by 10 moments ago. Now BL, Coach Barry Knott will take a timeout. Scots right back in this thing, only down 4.
The third place and championship games of this tournament will be played later this afternoon. In the semifinals yesterday, it was Mesquite taking down Jesuit 55-52, while Richardson had no problems with the Plano Wildcats winning that one 52-34. And stop me if this one sounds familiar in a game involving Richardson. Plano led that game early in the second quarter, and then Richardson ripped off a 19-2 run to take control and win the game by 18. Of course, what that game was missing was a second half comeback, which is what the Scots were able to do. Had several chances in the waning moments to win that game, but Richardson escaped. So it'll be Mesquite and Richardson in the championship tonight at 8 o'clock. The third place game will be Jesuit and Plano.
Well, sub Will Miller in the game for Kreitz, and when I saw Miller go over to the scorer's table, I thought for sure he'd be checking in for Campbell Brooks, but they're letting the sophomore stay out there with the group of ones.
There's Paradowski. Ryan Dooley on the wing. He'll take the dribble. 1:08 left, first half, 28-24, Bishop Lynch. Kick it over to Adams, long 2. Missed it. Great rebound by Chase Fletcher. Here comes Fraschilla and the Scots. Bounce it down low, intended for Clayton Murtha. And Bishop Lynch will come away with it on the baseline inbound after the turnover.
Maybe a tad over-aggressive there, trying to fit that one in.
Nearly a steal as Andrew Grotto was able to pull it away. 45 seconds left, 28-24, Bishop Lynch. The Scots trailed 18-16 after 1.
Scots back in there. They call a 51 defense, man-to-man.
Grotto will duke it out with Fraschilla with 25 seconds.
Fraschilla does not mind challenging the ball handler.
Nearly forces the steal. Adams tried to go down low, was intercepted by Clayton Murtha. Here comes Fraschilla, he's got a man to each side. Scoop it over left side for Will Miller, but then he lost it. Very fortunate as Grotto had his little toe on the sideline, and the Scots will have it, trailing by 4 with just under 12 seconds left.
And they just hold for the last shot here of the half.
Ten seconds. Fraschilla moves right, cleared some space out. They get Clayton Murtha.
Moving
he
screen.
Kept that contact a little too long. That'll be the 4th team foul against HP. Just under 6 seconds left. Murtha will guard the baseline inbound. Throwing it up for grabs, 50-50 ball. It's pulled in by Grotto with 3 seconds. Andrew Grotto will pull up, good if it goes. Just missed it.
But not a good look.
Good surge to end the first half by the Highland Park Scots. They trailed by 2, but were trailing by double figures early on in the second. They've brought it down to a 4-point game as we go to the halftime break. Bishop Lynch 28, Highland Park 24. At Texas Capital Bank, we're driven by an unwavering mission to serve Texas businesses and the entrepreneurs and families who run them. Since our beginning in 1998, we've grown into one of the state's largest independent banks, with offices in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Houston, and San Antonio. Texas Capital Bank is proud to support the Highland Park Scots and wishes the team great success this season. Scotty's coming back, trailing Bishop Lynch by 4 at the half, 28-24. We'll cut away, and when we come back, we'll have the third quarter of play from Plano. Back in a flash.
This presentation is brought to you by HPTV. If you or someone you know would like to sponsor this unique TV station, please email Mrs. Kelly Snowder at snowdeck@hpasd.org. And from all of us here at HPTV, we thank you for watching.
Welcome back to Plano Senior High School. We're getting set to get things going here in the third quarter. The Highland Park Scots, with a nice push to end the first half, have pulled to within 4 of the Bishop Lynch Friars, 28-24. Chase Fletcher and Clayton Murtha lead the way for the Scotties with 8 points apiece. Mitchell Kaufman had 1 in the first half. Will Miller with 5, all in the first quarter, and Matt Wilson with a bucket. The leading scorer in the game is Drew Bodensteiner. He had 12 points but didn't score in the second. He hit 3 3-pointers in the first quarter to lead Bishop Lynch's run to a double-digit lead in the first half. Yep. Colton Paradowski with 3, Ryan Dooley with 4, Lupe Alba with 8, and 6 3-pointers in the first half, Miles.
And that was my question. How many threes did they hit? That was really the big difference. 18 points of BL's 28 coming from beyond the arc. Highland Park's done a pretty good job of defending that for the most part this season. And they went to that 1-3-1 look for a while there. It was opening up some looks for Bishop Lynch. And ever since they've gone back to that man-to-man, they've been a lot more successful.
Bishop Lynch will look to improve its fortunes in the second half. They led Plano by 11 at halftime yesterday. And then Plano scored the first 8 points of the third quarter as the Scots forced the turnover to start things out. It's Frischilla, Miller, Kreitz, Fletcher, and Murtha.
What a play by Matt. Not only getting his hands on the ball, but then diving on the floor. You can tell how bad these guys want it.
This time they'll fake the handoff. Chase and 1.
I love to see Chase going off the dribble all the way to the cup. And you said it, they fake. That's a staple of their offense. They get Chase there on the elbow, and they have a cutter going down either baseline or from the top of the key. The defense is now conditioned to look for that and try and cut that off. And then all of a sudden, once they run that play a couple times and you got a couple easy baskets, then they fake it, and Chase just rolls to the hoop. That time got the harm as well.
And the Scots are within 1, 28-27. Adams can't hit the shot. Great box out, Clayton Murtha.
That's what the Scots need. It's not only about, on defense, about getting the shot to not fall. It's also about getting the defensive rebound.
Clayton Murtha gets fouled and will earn a trip to the line, where if he can hit both, the Scots will have the lead. The winner gets the Prosper Eagles in the 5th place game this afternoon at 3. If the Scotties are in it, we'll have it for you. Clayton leaves the first one a little bit short. Can still tie it by hitting the second.
Just right under 70% on the year. The Scots tie the ball game. Getting right back to that press.
HP 8 for 12 in the game at the line.
Press has not worked. Did not right there.
Paradowski with a left-hand dribble. Look left, drove it. Clayton Murtha tried to take the charge. There was no call, and Paradowski has 5 points. Bishop Lynch once again by 2.
Yeah, Murtha had challenged that shot. He probably could have gotten the block. He thought he was in such good position. Turnover Highland Park here.
Adams had it stripped out by Frischilla. Great deflection to force the turnover by the Harvard man, Matt Frischilla. Pump it down low quickly off the give from Miller. Takes it into the lane, has it stripped out. Jump ball. Highland Park will have it. Nice break there for the Scots.
Yeah, the reason why that would have been probably 2 points the other way. Something that Highland Park has really just been unable to do. I can't think of an easy lay-in they've had all game. Have really yet to been able to get their defense going in terms of turning BL over, getting easy looks on the offensive end.
Andrew Grotto did a nice job to prevent a catch-and-release 3 off the baseline inbound for Will Miller, and the Scots will set up the half-court offense. 6:20 left in the third, 30-28, Bishop Lynch with the lead. They led by double figures late in the first half. Will Miller,
halfway down.
Not as good a look as they've had, just wouldn't fall. Here comes Dooley. He'll kick it out to Adams. Straight on 3, ball is short. Great box out. Chase Fletcher. Paradowski nearly took it away from him. Miller take a step inside the 3-point line, missed the shot.
Yeah, that's not that bad a shot considering, I don't know how much of a better look you can get than that in a half-court offense. I think Will's got the green light, especially on the perimeter. They need his scoring. They need his aggressiveness. And talking to Coach Snowden before the game, said, what's one thing Will needs to get better at? They said, maybe his aggressiveness. He probably doesn't know how good he is yet. The young man's got so much potential.
He aggressively fought for that rebound. Here comes Fletcher. Finds the getting good. Missed the shot. Thought he was fouled. Here comes Alba. Frischilla got his hand on it. Last touched by Will Miller and the Scots.
Frischilla's been all over the place on the defensive end in this half. I don't know how many, 3 or 4 already. strips and steals that he's had in this third quarter, only about 2.5 minutes in.
Drew Bodensteiner and Luke Packard into the game for Bishop Lynch.
Bodensteiner, you got to guard him all the way to the bench. Hit a couple threes in that sequence in the first quarter.
There's Bodensteiner, just hit his fourth.
Unbelievable. Kid's red hot.
Has 15 points. And the lead is 5 once again for Bishop Lynch.
And he's not looking to do anything but score the basketball. He's done it well, though.
Frischilla, great pass to Murtha. That's maybe the nicest assist of the day. You've got several highlight reel examples of Matt Frischilla's passing ability.
There's
today.
a couple to pick from. He is a talented guy.
Murtha with 11. Scott's within 3, 33-30. Grotto kick it out to Paradowski. Packard picked up the dribble, but he finds Dooley up top. Dooley battles with Kreitz, kicks it out to Paradowski, thought about the 3. Good patient offense. Been pretty impressed with Bishop Lynch. It's a pretty solid team.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. They've been able to hold Highland Park down for the most part on the offensive end, or on the defensive end for BL, but offensively they've been pretty good. Highland Park's held most teams to under 40 lately. They're already approaching what Richardson was able to get yesterday with 39 points.
Coach Barry Knott wants a timeout with 4:04 left in the third quarter. It's Bishop Lynch 33, Highland Park 30. HP Basketball's annual. Here's Kahn given lots of space by Bodensteiner. I think that's been a lot of the struggles for the Scots this year, as teams are really giving them that outside shot. Then Derrick will take it. Left it a little bit short.
See, they need him to be able to take that shot, even if he doesn't make it on a consistent basis.
Got to keep him
honest. They need to be
honest.
able to stretch the floor and keep him honest.
Renner, nice pass to Packard for 2.
That's disappointing. Highland Park grinds for about a minute on offense. They don't get a shot, and then BL gets an easy look on the other end.
Will Miller moves left. He'll rise from 16 feet.
That's a good look for him. Hadn't been quite on the money with the shot today. They
scored
need him
5
to score.
points in the first quarter, but hasn't dented since.
And that's a look he expects to make.
You've got Evan Buechler getting set to come in.
About to make his first varsity action ever.
Into Grotto. Grotto kicks it out to Bodensteiner. Look out.
No way.
He's
Good
human
rebound by
after
Matt.
all. And then Frischilla has it knocked out from behind. It's a 2-on-1. It's Paradowski and Renner. Paradowski gives it to Renner with the left hand. He lays it in.
And Peeler kept thinking he's going to call a timeout here. The lead stretched back to 7. Highland Park had it down to a tie game at one point.
Lynch has definitely absorbed the Scots comeback and then some as Frischilla rises from the baseline. Matt Frischilla with his first points of the game. He was scoreless yesterday against Richardson, the first time all year that he hasn't scored.
And that's huge. They need him to be able to score the basketball just a little bit, not obviously carry the load for the Scots, but they need him to score just enough to be able to keep the defense honest. And if they give him that shot, he'll take it.
And welcome to varsity action, Evan Buechler. He's wearing number 31 in this game. He's a 6'4" junior.
Yeah, he can shoot, which is what Highland Park needs. And definitely an offensive player. Congratulations to Evan making the varsity.
He was taking that shot right there for most of
absolutely.
the warm-up. Frischilla will
JV
kick it out to him. Can he hit his first varsity shot? You betcha. Evan
That's awesome.
Buechler for 3.
That is great. And you see the whole bench get up, give him a hand. Not only is that good for Evan, that's good for the team. They need some outside shooting in a bad way.
37-35. We'll see what he can do on defense. Doing a nice job against Matthew Jordan this time. Bodensteiner kicks it out to Jason Siegel. 50 seconds left, 37-35, Bishop Lynch. Chase out of the double, forces the turnover, but then the Scots give it right back. Here's Bodensteiner. Buechler cuts him off on the baseline and then gets a rebound. Evan Buechler all over the place here in the third.
Pretty sure Bodensteiner does not know how to do anything but shoot the basketball. Every time he's gotten it, he's looked to shoot.
There's the pass to Kahn. He'll take it in. Leaves it short. Bodensteiner with the rebound. Nobody there on the offensive glass for the Scots. 21 seconds left. HP trailing by 2.
You want some help on the offensive glass. That's why they're subbing in Kaufman and Murtha in just a moment.
There's Grotto. Knocked over Derek Kahn. little bit of hold for dramatic effect there, and the foul is tacked on to Derek Kahn. It's his first, the team's first, with 10 seconds left in the third quarter. These are the first free throws attempted by Lynch since the first quarter. They've only shot 4 in the game. Andrew Grotto looking to score his first point, and he does. Here come Kaufman, and Murtha as Fletcher and Kahn leave. Grotto hits both. There's 10 seconds left. Fraschilla over to Kaufman. Kaufman will shoot the three.
Not his game.
Not his shot. But the Scots trailed by 4 at halftime. They fell behind by 7 late in the third, but a nice surge keyed by varsity newcomer Evan Buechler has pulled the Scotties back to within 4 after 3, 39-35. At Texas Capital Bank, we're driven by an unwavering mission to serve Texas businesses and the entrepreneurs and families who run them. Since our beginning in 1998, we've grown into one of the state's largest independent banks, with offices in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Houston, and San Antonio. Texas Capital Bank is proud to support the Highland Park Scots and wishes the team great success this season. Brian Sutcliffe with Miles Dunklin here as the guys from Frisco Heritage and Irving are getting set for their consolation semifinal that'll take place right after this one. These squads vying for a place in the 5th place game against the Prosper Eagles at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We're hoping the Scots will get another opportunity, Miles, to continue to try to work their game into gear by getting another game this afternoon.
Yeah, and I think today, this, once again, has not been their best effort, but they're within arm's length of the opponent here. They'd like to be able to get an extra game in this afternoon in the tournament. Of course, you want to finish off the tournament with a good taste in your mouth. Certainly they did not want to end on the note that they finished on yesterday with a very poor effort against Richardson. And hopefully they can come out and seize this fourth quarter and roll in with some momentum to that 3 o'clock game against Prosper.
Number 3, Matt Fraschilla. Number 21, Campbell Brooks. Number 4, Mitchell Kaufman. Number 31, Evan Buechler. And number 50, Clayton Murtha.
3 sophomores, a junior, and the senior point guard.
Well, and 2 of your newcomers here have a combined 3 games of varsity experience on the floor right now, and one of those games is more like 2 minutes of varsity experience.
Right.
Here's Siegel. He'll float it up high off the glass and in. Jason Siegel with a pretty first 2 points of the game. The lead is back to 6 for Bishop Lynch, 41-35.
Yeah, that was nice. Kaufman was there for the contest, but a good job using the glass high off the window.
And the Scots offense is so patient and deliberate that the margin for error is very small, as there's a
nice
big
block
stuff by Ryan Dooley. Comes to Fraschilla. Double teamed in the corner. Heady play to throw it off Max Hiltebeitel.
And you can tell he's been well schooled in this game. Every time Matt gets in a situation, an awkward spot like that, always makes the right play. Such a heady player. Really an extension of the coach out on the floor.
Scots look like they want to free up a shot in the corner, but Bishop Lynch able to anticipate it. Ryan Dooley having a nice defensive possession with a block and a deflection. Campbell Brooks will get the ball with 7:05 left in the fourth. Bishop Lynch 41, Highland Park 35. All 5 players outside the line right now. Kick it out to Kaufman. Here's Brooks. Put his head down, kicked it out to Fraschilla.
Not a lot of motion in this offense right now. They're trying that slip screen on the ball. And miscommunication. That
came off Matt's hand the wrong way.
That was really a poor offensive possession by Highland Park. I'd like to see them be deliberate and grind out that half-court offense, but when the only shot attempt you got was blocked, and then the rest of it was just Bishop Lynch pretty much stifling every offensive chance by Highland Park. That was not a good possession.
Fraschilla's been all over the place trying to force those turnovers.
Yeah, you can't fault his effort.
Scots with great positioning. There's Buechler again. He finds Kaufman, who rise from 10 feet. Missed the shot.
Missed opportunity there by the Scots.
Adams, he'll take it in and hit.
Wow.
And that's been the story of the game.
And that's a killer right there. That pushes the lead back to 8. That was a 4-point swing, Brian, with Kaufman missing that jumper. And then BL able to get another 2 points. It's very demoralizing when you're grinding out offensively as Matt tries to use the glass. A nice shot by Matt from the elbow. When you're grinding out a possession offensively, you spend a minute and a half with the ball trying to get a good look, and you're not able to score, and then Bishop Lynch is able to score in a matter of seconds.
Dooley with a nice spin. He'll take it up off the glass and in. And
Wow.
the Scots interior defense is having a hard time right now as Dooley now with 6. It's an 8-point lead.
Scott's in the danger zone right now. Another 2 points or so by BL, and this one could get out of arm's length away from the lead.
Buechler remains in the game, but there'll be a timeout first, a 30-second variety with 5:45 left in the 4th. Bishop Lynch leads Highland Park 45-37. It'll be next action for the Scots either this afternoon against Prosper at 3 o'clock if the Scots can come back and win this one, or the next action will be on the road at West Mesquite this
Be a
Thursday.
tough game to win.
The Scots will have 2 games in 48 hours next week as they'll play West Mesquite Thursday at 7 and then turn around and play Carrollton Creekview Saturday at 1:30.
And not very often do you get a couple district games like that sandwiched in the schedule. These guys used to playing a couple games in a couple days. This is the third game in 3 days for Highland Park. They've been good in tournament play overall, but this has not been their best couple performances these last 2 days.
The loss to Richardson yesterday snapped an 8-game tournament winning streak as the Scots won the HP Scott Classic and then took the Union Square Bulldog Classic as Frischilla hits again. He's got a tied for his season high with 6 points.
I mean, I love to see him not only make baskets, but attempt them. And really helps out the rest of the offense when Matt's able to get his own shot like that.
Lupe Alba, not sure that's the shot, the success that Bishop Lynch has had getting the ball down low that Coach Barry not wanted to see.
Especially when you have an 8-point lead or a 6-point lead and you're trying to hold on. You don't want somebody taking a quick shot and just all of a sudden ruining the possession for your team. But they're able to get another offensive rebound.
Buechler defending the baseline. That's another guy who's listed as 6'4". He looks bigger than that. Alba battles with Murtha. Murtha doing a nice job bottling up that baseline drive. Dooley pump it down low. Looked like Buechler got his hand on it for a minute. It's Alba with the left hand. Double dribble.
That's the kind of break that Highland Park needs right now. Certainly not going to apologize for a double dribble on the opponent right now. They need the ball.
Under 5 minutes remaining. Will
There it
straight
is.
on 3. That's the shot he likes.
He does not have it this afternoon. Yeah, that was really his sweet spot right there. In rhythm, can't ask for a whole lot more for your best shooter.
Bishop Lynch beats that press again. There's Bodensteiner. Tried to go Tim Duncan off the glass. He missed it. Miller doing his job on the defensive board, clearing for the Scots, who trail by 6, 45-39. Buechler will try it again.
No fear in the
Looked good
sophomore
coming
and the
out of his
junior.
hand.
Yeah, he's got a sweet stroke. You can see why they want him on the squad. They need all the offensive firepower they can get. See, if I'm Bishop Lynch right now, I'm not taking many shots in the half court. A good job following his own shot.
Grotto missed the shot, and the 5'11 guard gets his own rebound. Offensive foul. Chase Fletcher takes his 28th of the season.
Yeah, huge play. The Scots needed that one. Chase, I wonder if he hurt his left hand right there, kind of working out the left fingers on his left hand. Hope he's okay. Scots cannot afford to lose Chase Fletcher.
Buechler leaves. Matthew Kreitz back in for the Scots. So you've got your starting 5 out there right now. Frischilla moves to the baseline. Kick it out to Kreitz. Kreitz will tee up the 3. Shot missed. Lube Alba gets the rebound. Not many offensive rebounds today for the Scotties.
No, haven't been able to get Any easy baskets of any kind. Offensive rebounds, transition looks, that's not a good shot by Bishop Lynch. With a 6-point lead, Brian, don't you want to hold the ball and try and bleed some clock here instead of taking a bad shot like that? Don't understand that.
Great look. Fletcher, Murtha, very patient, letting the defender fly past, realizing he had to dribble to create some space. He's got 13 points. He's just 4 off his season high, which was in the championship game of the Burke-Burnett tournament, 17 points against White House.
Yeah, Chase averaging a little more than 2 assists a game, and that's really impressive for a post player like that.
Grotto, he missed the shot, and Bishop Lynch is shooting the Scots back into this one.
I agree.
Less than 3 minutes left. It's a 4-point game.
Yeah, I don't know why they feel like they need to get a shot up like that. It's not necessarily a wide open look. Unless you get a layup if you're BL, I would say try and hold the ball. Scots seem to be in no hurry. Just a 4-point game.
Kick it over to Kreitz. Back to Miller, right wing 3. That's more like it.
Gotta love the aggressiveness from the senior. Will Miller stepping into that shot that was well contested, but Will knows that his team needs him right now, and a big shot.
It's a 1-point game. Scots pull to within 1, 45-44 after Will Miller knocked in his second 3-pointer of the game. He's now got 8 for the contest with 2:27 left. We'll let you know one more time that HP Basketball's annual Hoops and Hot Sauce dinner and auction is coming up Friday, February 1st. It'll be here before you know it. For more information on tickets, underwriting, and auction donations, email hoopsandhotsauce@gmail.com. Bishop Lynch has played a lot of close games this season. They've already played 4 overtime games this year.
Wow.
They're 3-1 in those games. 2 of them are against North Mesquite. The second with the Stallions was in the first round of this tournament, as Bishop Lynch beat North Mesquite 57-54 in overtime.
And he's going to probably ride out this starting 5 these last couple minutes. It's Frischella, Miller, Kreitz, Fletcher, and Murtha.
Scott's in great position on the foul scoreboard. They've only committed 1 in the second half, whereas Bishop Lynch has 5.
Yeah, stark contrast to the first game of this tournament for Highland Park. But what a big shot right there, Brian, by Will Miller. It was contested. He wasn't wide open, and he's not shot the ball well. The last time he had a wide open 3, he airballed it. But I love the confidence right there by a guy who necessarily hasn't been in this position for very long, but starting to embrace the role that he's got on this team.
Grotto gets it to Paradowski, been on the bench for a while. 2:05 left. Scots trail by 1, 45-44. Grotto is Frischella. Like Kreitz might have got his hand on it, or Miller, one of the two. The Scots with a chance to take the lead.
Yeah,
they trailed by double figures in the first half.
Bishop Lynch just giving the Scots every opportunity to come back in this one. She need a couple more buckets. Looking for the high-low. There it is.
This time it's Murtha to Fletcher, left it just a little bit short. 1:40 remaining, 45-44, Bishop Lynch. Winner gets Prosper in the 5th place game at 3 o'clock today. Deliberate possession here for the Friars.
This is what they should have been doing a couple minutes ago when they had a 6-point lead.
Paradowski gives to Lupe Alba with a left hand. He'll take it up strong off the glass.
I'm impressed with him. Not only his ability to score in the post, we saw him hit a 3. That time attacking the basket off the dribble.
Less than a minute left. Scots trail it by 3.
Once again, they're looking for that high-low action, big to big.
45 seconds. Frischella to Miller. Thought about the 3. Was closed out immediately by Renner. Nice baseline look for Chase. Shot was blocked by Lupe Alba. All ball on that one. Then he lost the handle.
Oh, wow. A critical mistake by Bishop Lynch.
This is the exact same script we saw yesterday against Richardson, where the Scots would come away empty. Richardson would get the ball and turn it over. And they gave the Scots every opportunity yesterday to try to come back and win that one.
Yeah, really all they needed to do was hold on to the ball right there, and Highland Park would have been forced to play the foul game, put Bishop Lynch at the line, and a very, I guess it was forced. There was some pressure on him, but he didn't necessarily need to be that aggressive in getting the ball across the timeline. And Highland Park's going to have one more chance to tie this thing up. You got a couple options when you're down 3 with this much time left. You could always go for the quick 2. You don't need a 3. Just try and get whatever basket's available to you, and then you can play the foul game.
You wonder if you may see any substitutions here off the timeout.
I would be surprised. He's been riding this 5 down the length of this stretch, trying to tie the game. They get a couple seconds to rest here. I'd be surprised if it was anybody other than Frischella, Kreitz, Murtha, Fletcher, and Miller.
The last game the Scots won by fewer than 11 points was the win at Richardson, 51-48.
And wow, they're bringing the JV call-up into the lineup here in the last 30 seconds of the game. That's a very surprising move by Peeler and company, but they're clearly showing some faith in a guy they just moved up to the roster today.
Okay, kid, keep our tournament alive.
No pressure.
No pressure. 30 seconds left. Scots trail it by 3 with the ball.
Must feel like he's the best shooter they got.
Bishop Lynch has a foul to give.
There it is.
There's Miller for the tie. Bottom!
Yeah, that was a perfect execution of what Peeler wanted out of the break that time. They got a good screen off the ball to let Miller get free and then rise and fire from his sweet spot right at the top of the key. Big 3 for Will Miller.
Ties the game at 47 with just under 19 seconds left. Now the Scots have fouls to give all day if they want to really harass Bishop Lynch as they come into the front court.
That's a good point, Brian. The 17th foul is what puts BL into the bonus. And so you can foul away from the ball, or they just sub Campbell Brooks into the game. I would imagine he'd probably be one of those guys with a foul to give.
The Scots have not played overtime yet this season. We'll see if HP can get a steal here and maybe get a look in the waning moments to try to win this thing in regulation. Clayton Murtha is the leading scorer for the Scots in this game. He has 13. Will Miller with 11. Chase Fletcher with 11. Matt Frischella with a season-high 6. It's the second time this year he's done it.
I'd like to ask Coach Peeler exactly what the tactical strategy is here, taking Miller out, putting Campbell Brooks back in. I believe it's an offense for defense move. They probably feel like Brooks is better at staying in front and contesting on a 3.
The Scots have no timeouts, so if they're able to get a steal that doesn't stop play, they will not be able to substitute.
That's a good point. They do have, like you said, fouls to give all day.
18.6 left. Bodensteiner gets it on the baseline. Not much there. Bishop Lynch does have 2 timeouts, and they'll take one.
And just in case you don't understand the foul to give, basically you can, if Bishop Lynch gets the ball and they're looking to shoot, all of a sudden you can foul them, and because that foul doesn't put them at the free throw line,
assuming
it forces
they're not
them,
shooting the ball. That's
assuming
correct.
they're not shooting the ball, it forces them to re-inbound, get reset up. So ideally, you'd wait for there to be 3 seconds left or so, then foul them and make them reset up everything they're trying to do. So that's why it's a big advantage to have all those fouls to give.
18.6 seconds left. It's a baseline inbound.
And they've got to go the length of the floor, 94 feet here, to get the basket. Not like the NBA game where a timeout would have put you at half court.
Still one of the most confusing rules in all of sports. You can advance the ball closer to your goal while doing nothing other than calling a timeout. It'll be Murtha, Fletcher, Brooks, Frischella, and Kreitz.
And I would imagine this is what he feels like is his best defensive lineup.
Yep. Bodensteiner, who has 15 points, 4 3-pointers. In with 17 seconds. Grotto.
And you can foul right
pressure.
here. You can foul.
There's Paradowski. He's got Lupe Alba on the baseline. Ball is in the paint. Paradowski will shoot the 3. He missed it. Comes down to Bodensteiner with 3 seconds. It's blocked. And we're going to overtime.
Yeah, good defensive possession by Highland Park. They did everything you could ask. They did not go with the foul to give strategy and try and foul and make them reset up. There was nothing. They never really had any open looks that time. Bodensteiner got the rebound underneath, but nowhere to go with it. And we're going to play the extra frame.
Put 4 minutes on the scoreboard.
Got some bonus basketball
extra
here.
basketball here. Some great experience for the Scots. Their first overtime action of the season. You know, they've had a nice comeback. They trailed by double figures in the first half, but fought back. Had a nice surge to start the third quarter. Bishop Lynch absorbed it, extended the lead back out to 7. And then the Scots fought tough. Big three-pointer by Will Miller straight on, tied the game.
Yeah, that was a huge shot by Will. And that's just the kind of thing that's going to breed confidence in that young man. Everybody you talk to says, you know, this guy's got a lot of potential for a guy who's 6'5". Coach Snowden told me before the game, they think his wingspan is about 6'8". And really just a guy, especially the fact that he can stretch the floor at that size, shoot the three with the kind of proficiency that he does. Whether he ends up at a JUCO or goes to a small college, he can really play at the next level if he wants. Well, Miles, he's got a lot of room to grow in his game.
You wonder how he's had to adjust his game. We saw him a lot in the JV, on the JV side, and you might call him a volume shooter.
Sure.
You know, he shoots himself into a rhythm, and when he gets that rhythm,
but he can
you better
score.
look out.
He can score it up.
But to some extent, on the varsity side, that's not really how they play. You know, this isn't a team that has a guy that cranks a lot of shots all the time.
Unless you're
it's
David
based
Allen.
on patience. That's correct. It's based on patience and execution in the half court. And there's that play that's worked so many times off the tip. Clayton
Good
Murtha having one of his best games of the year, gets the offensive rebound and the putback, and the Scots lead for the first time in a while, 49-47.
What a complete player Murtha is. He's not a guy you draw up an offensive play for, get him a low post touch, but he's going to score in the flow of the game without having to have a run play for him.
And there's a two-shot foul against Will Miller. Campbell Brooks getting set to check back in. That sends Colton Paradowski to the line. He has 5 points in the game. The first free throws attempted here by Lynch since the third quarter, and he missed the first.
It'll be Brooks checking back in once again. I don't want to beat the dead horse here, but it's really showing a lot about the confidence they have in this young man to be out there. Only about 2 days on the varsity roster.
Neither team attempted a free throw in the fourth. Paradowski goes 0 for 2. Great job by Chase Fletcher to box out Ryan Dooley. Scots with the lead by 2.
I love the patience by Will.
Over to Fletcher.
Dangerous pass.
Fletcher now tough defense over on the sideline as Matt Frischella just able to save a backcourt violation. 3:15 left in overtime. Scotty's by 2, 49-47. Winner gets Prosper in the 5th place game at 3 o'clock this afternoon. Wide open Miller, you can't leave him there.
BL got a big break. That one didn't fall and pushed the lead to 5.
Dooley, nice look to Alba. Ties the game. Lupe Alba with 12.
You know, Bishop Lynch has really been able to exploit, Brian, that pressure of Highland Park, and I know that they're trying to force some turnovers with that look, but they've ended up in giving Bishop Lynch a lot of easy looks offensively and just some easy possessions for them to get a couple buckets.
Post-up chase goes to the baseline. Nice job by Alba. Rotated out. Can Matt hit his second 3 of the year? You bet.
Love to see him shoot the rock. That's what they need him to do a little more often. And a huge shot by the senior captain.
Adams can't respond. The Scots with a 3-point lead. Matt Frischella with his season-high 9 points. He's hit his second 3-pointer of the season to give the Scots the 3-point edge with 2:15 left in overtime. Frischella to the cutting Fletcher. Rebound, Will Miller for 2. Scots by 5.
Right place, right time. Will Miller. Scots get in control of this game. What a big shot by Matt Frischella to hit the wide open 3. Hard to believe, Brian, that that's only his second 3 of the year, considering how much of the time he's out on the floor, how much of the time he's got the ball in his hands.
A 7-2 run to start overtime for the Scots has given them a 5-point lead, 54-49 with 2:05 left in the first overtime. The 5th overtime of the year for Bishop Lynch, their second in this tournament.
And this looks a lot more like the Highland Park team that we know and love, the team that necessarily doesn't have the most skill or talent out there, but finds a way to win and get it done in the clutch moments. A couple huge shots by some senior captains.
2:05 remaining. If the Scots win this one, we'll have the broadcast as HP would take on Prosper for 5th place in this tournament. Broadcast would start about 3 o'clock.
I looked for a couple moments there like Highland Park. Not going to be able to pull this one out, but what we say before, Scots find a way.
Bishop Lynch is 4 for 8 at the free throw line in the game. They haven't shot many, but they've left half of them off the mark.
Scots are once again going to set up in this press. It hasn't had a lot of success for them. Mostly this is what's happened.
Barrett Renner will set up the offense. Scots with a 5-point lead. Trailed by double figures in the first half, then by 7 in the third. Here's Dooley. Dooley lost the handle. Down onto the floor for it is the varsity newbie, Campbell Brooks. Earns the jump ball. So Bishop Lynch will have it, but the arrow will switch.
I'm loving Campbell's athleticism and quickness, energy that he's brought. See why the coaches like him.
They do not reset the foul count in overtime as Bodensteiner looked like he traveled. So the Scots have still only committed 2 fouls. 5 for Bishop Lynch. Dooley thought about the long 2. He'll take it up with a jump stop. Can't hit the shot, and those shots have been falling most of the game. Scotty's getting some breaks here late in the second half and into overtime. Here's Brooks. Over from Murtha. Nice job
Wise
to keep
play.
that pivot foot planted.
Yeah, not only to keep the pivot foot, but not to force one over to Will Miller and grind out some offense. You're up 5 with 1:15 left.
And that might be the dagger. Another great look as Clayton Murtha has tied his season high. He's got 17. The Scots lead it by 7. Paradowski, he'll have to shoot that 3. He missed it. Rebound, Chase Fletcher. And the Scots, with less than a minute left, have taken control of this game in the first overtime.
And get it across the timeline here and then get to your best free throw shooter. That's one of them right there, number 20, Will Miller.
So you wonder if Miller just should hold on to that and let him come foul him.
I agree.
Timeout. It looked like they fouled
Okay.
Fraschilla over on the side, it looked like. That's their foul to give. 43.9 seconds left. Scots by 7.
Interesting they have Miller inbounding it, considering he's their best free throw guy.
Lynch still hasn't fouled. They tried to foul Campbell Brooks and nearly got a steal. And then Chase Fletcher is fouled, and you think if he can make these, that ought to do it.
Even 1 or 2 would go a long way to helping the Scots pull this one out. It looked for a long time like this was not going to go Highland Park's way, but they found a way here in the 4th.
Scotties find a way. 9-2, HP has outscored Bishop Lynch in overtime. Chase misses the front end, so still live for Bishop Lynch. Renner hits the 3.
And that's, like you said, that breathes life right back into him. That's maybe a 5-point swing. Chase missed the front of that 1-and-1, and now we're looking at a 2-possession game.
4-point game, just under 26 seconds left. I'm Brian Sutcliffe with the legendary Miles Dunklin.
It was the last time out of the game for Bishop Lynch.
We got a great team here that's putting in overtime. Kelly Snowden's here handling the production duties as well as graphics, bringing them to you. Big time. Drew Allman, our director. Alex Kramer on the high cam. Connor Palacios down on the floor. Glad to bring you live broadcast action of Highland Park Scots varsity basketball. You know, not many teams around here have their games aired live. It's great that there's a crew here able to bring it to you in high quality. Scotty's leading by 4, 56-52, but a big 3-pointer by Barrett Renner. The quarterback on the football team has kept Lynch's hopes alive. The Scots have the possession arrow. No more fouls to give for Lynch, so the Scots shoot free throws on any foul the rest of the way.
And once again,
Murtha,
it's Miller.
Fletcher, Brooks, Fraschilla, and Miller in the floor for the Highland Park Scots. Fraschilla into the front court. Look out.
Had it poked away from behind.
Just under 20 seconds left.
They've had Miller as the trigger man in all of these plays.
Scots hoping to build momentum heading into their big game against West Mesquite on Thursday, looking to avoid their first 2-game losing streak of the season. They are some free throw shooting away from doing just that.
They really responded well in the closing minutes of this game, mainly but those 2 threes from Miller. Not only the one at the top of the key that tied the game, but there was a big shot from the wing as well. He's showing a lot of confidence.
Matt Fraschilla into double figures scoring for the first time this year. He's got his season high. He's extended what was a season high of 6 to 10.
A big 3 from Matt in this overtime period.
Scott's 9 for 15 at the line. 17 seconds left. It's a 5-point game. Into the front court with 15 seconds.
Don't want to foul.
For Dooley.
Big miscommunication, and looks like that will be your ball game.
Bishop Lynch has put the guns in the holsters, and HP will live to fight again this afternoon. 57-52. The Scotties will play the Prosper Eagles this afternoon for the 5th place finish in this 2012 Plano Wildcat Holiday Classic. HP moves to 14-5 this year. For Bishop Lynch, they fall to 12-9. Their tournament is over, but the Scots roll on. Chase Fletcher had 11 points in this one for the Scots. Matt Fraschilla, maybe his best game of the year offensively, had 10 points, dishing out assists all over the place.
How about the big man? How about the big man, Clayton
Murtha tied his season high. He had 17.
Affects so many different facets of the game. Like I said before, Clayton's a guy who they don't give him the ball on offense within the flow of the offense and let him get a shot. He just gets his points within the flow of the game. Offensive rebounds, steals. He's always in the right place at the right time. Really a huge game for Clayton. They would not have been able to pull this one out without him.
Matt Wilson had 2. Evan Buechler, the JV call-up, seeing his first action today, hit his first field goal, hit that 3-pointer. Mitchell Kaufman had 1. And Will Miller had the big straight-on 3 to tie the game with about 20 seconds left in regulation. The Scots go on to win it in overtime, 57-52. At Texas Capital Bank, we're driven by an unwavering mission to serve Texas businesses and the entrepreneurs and families who run them. Since our beginning in 1998, we've grown into one of the state's largest independent banks, with offices in Dallas, Fort Worth, Austin, Houston, and San Antonio. Texas Capital Bank is proud to support the Highland Park Scots and wishes the team great success this season. We want to thank Texas Capital Bank as well as the parents of the 2012-2013 Highland Park Scots for making this broadcast possible. Once again, our terrific team, Kelly Snowden, Drew Allman, Alex Kramer, Connor Palacios. Guys, we're going to tee this up one more time as the Scots will battle the Prosper Eagles at 3 o'clock this afternoon. We'll be there. We hope you will be as well. Miles Dunklin, a great job.
Had fun as always.
Let's go ice the pipes down. We'll do this again later this afternoon. We wouldn't have it any other way. Until later this afternoon, I'm Brian Sutcliffe. So long, everybody.
This presentation is brought to you by HPTV. If you or someone you know would like to sponsor this unique TV station, please email Mrs. Kelly Snowden at snowdeck@hpasd.org. And from all of us here at HPTV, we thank you for watching.